1 year after Virginia passed legislation allowing concealed carry holders to have their firearms on them in establishments where alcohol is served, crimes in bars and restaurants have gone down. I talked with David Adams, legislative director of the Virginia Shooting Sports Association, to find out more. Well, David, thank you, sir, for coming on the program. It's great talking to you, as always.
Oh, thanks for the invitation.
And, here we are, a year after Virginia's restaurant carry law was passed, and shockingly enough, David, crime in restaurants and bars, not a big problem in the state.
Yeah, not only did it not experience the bloodbath that the naysayers said when this bill passed, but we actually had a decrease in crime.
That's right, 5.2% number of major crimes involving guns in bars and restaurants. And according to the Richmond Times Dispatch, it doesn't look like concealed carry holders were really, causing a lot of problems.
No, which is what we said all along. Concealed carry holders are law-abiding citizens. They want to keep their permits, so they're not going to break the law.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, there's really not a lot of crime in bars and restaurants before the restaurant carry legislation went into effect. But the scary thing is, David, as we've seen in some of these crimes, it's not necessarily the number, it's the severity, which is why it's good to have concealed carry holders there.
That's exactly right. And, from the, looking back at restaurants before the law was passed and then looking at the, restaurants when I would go out to eat after the law was passed, I don't think anybody really noticed or even paid attention to the change. If they happened to be, someone who wasn't going to carry a firearm, they didn't look around to see if somebody had a gun packed in their pants or something like that. They just went along their business. It's business as usual. Restaurants continue to thrive, and which is what we said was going to happen all along.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of things that I kind of wish the Times Dispatch would have explored. For instance, they did not look at the number of reported robberies at restaurants and bars. And I'm kind of curious if that number went down as well, David.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, what methodology they decided to focus on, because the state police is who they relied upon for their statistics that they quoted in their analysis.
Right. They say they looked at all aggravated assaults, homicides, and sexual assaults involving firearms at bars and restaurants across Virginia. They said robberies were not analyzed because they tend to involve premeditated crimes by perpetrators openly displaying guns, and many of the affected businesses are chain restaurants that don't serve alcohol. Maybe it would be difficult to come up with that statistic, but I got to think that the number of robberies has gone down across the state as well, because, again, the would-be robbers know that they're going to be armed citizens there.
That's exactly right. If you're a would-be robber and you don't know whether your supposed victim or your planned victim is going to be armed or not, I don't think you're going to take a chance, because, most criminals don't want to either be caught by the police or be stopped by an armed individual who was supposed to have been a victim to start with.
Mm-hmm. The other interesting thing I thought in this story, there was a quote from one of the opponents of restaurant carry, State Senator A. Donald McEachin, who says, quote, "I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out that's just like drinking and driving doesn't mix, guns and drinking don't mix." Well, the problem with that statement, David, as you know, is that if you're carrying concealed in a restaurant or a bar that serves alcohol, you can't drink.
That's exactly right. But I would also like to point out to the good senator, who, by the way, is the same guy who wore his NRA F rating like a badge of honor when he ran for Attorney General back here about 8 years ago, that we've had open carry in restaurant for years, and you are allowed to drink, and we still haven't had any problem.
Yeah, well, that's true. And, this is, I guess, kind of saying that parking lots and bars don't mix, or cars and bars don't mix. Maybe we should just require that you have to walk to every place that serves alcohol, Dave.
That's right. And, in fact, you're not even allowed to put a six-pack in your vehicle when you leave the grocery store to take it home.
Maybe Senator McEachin can propose that legislation next year. We'll see where it goes.
Well, I wouldn't give him any ideas.
Hey, David, thank you again, sir. It's good talking to you, and congratulations. And thanks again for all your hard work, in helping push this legislation in Richmond last year.
Well, it was a team effort. The NRA has been working hard with VSSA for years on this, and it's just great to see that a year after it went into effect that we've not only seen no problems, but actually crime has been reduced. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
All right, David Adams, thanks again, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Cam.